Hello, my Cancer signs. Welcome to your monthly reading for the month of February. And we're going to be zeroing in on the sacral chakra this month. Last month, we started off with the root chakra, and we're going to make our way all the way through all the 7 chakras for the first 7 months, and then we'll move on to other chakras toward the end of this year. So this sacral chakra, because it is like the seat of creativity, one of the things we'll look at for this reading is how can you release your creative energy. And also because like the root chakra has to do with how we relate to like groups in the tribe and the world, the sacral chakra is all about how we relate to another individual, just one-on-one. So we'll also be looking at how or where can we transform our one-on-one relationships. And we're going to start off by pulling a card here from a deck that I'm working on with the creator. It actually has 7 stacks within the deck, and this one, of course, is the orange, so this will represent for the sacral chakra. And we're just going to find out first what the creator wants us to know, either about your release for creativity or how you can transform your one-on-one relationships. Let me just give this a little more shuffle here. All right, so for our Cancer signs. Okay, very fast. So here we go. And yeah, you've got soul meat. So this definitely is going to be about how you can transform your one-on-one relationships. And you can see here, and I really cracked up when they gave me this idea, because, you know, here's your, your soulmate, but here are the little fangs, because you're about to eat of that soulmate. And what this represents is this kind of this conditioning that we receive in our lives that someone else is supposed to make us feel whole and complete. And we will tend to be attracted to something in someone else that we want for ourselves. And rather than grow that thing within ourselves, we will try to possess that person, and then we think that because we possess them that we also possess that quality that we are so attracted in them, and that's why they're like eating of that, because it's like, this is what I want for me, and so I'm going to consume that. And you'll see down the bottom here that the creator gives this beautiful way to transform these emotions that are rooted in fear into those of unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter. And the first one is Love Burger, and the other one is the Spicecake mantra. So I'll review both of those. The Love Burger is kind of based on a situation I had with a friend of mine. We were walking down the hallway, and we actually was 3 of us. A mutual friend of ours was there too, and they were chatting. And one of my friends, she was so excited. She was like, "He finally said I love you," and they were like so happy and so excited about it. And they turned to me for my response, and I said, "I love burgers." And they looked at me and were like, "What?" And I said, I love hamburgers. It's like, so what does that got to do, with the burger? The burger doesn't care if I love it or not. And we put so much like effort, so much of our definition on someone saying they love us, right? And so the Love Burger is like this realization, it's this awareness that comes in going that I don't have to have my definition based on how other people feel about me, how other people voice their affections or their approval or their validation, whether that is romantic or friends or family or work relationships or whatever it might be. That just that love being expressed doesn't have to change anything about our lives and ourselves. It's nice to hear. Our human side, our ego definitely loves to hear that praise and that validation. But if we base our validation and our worth on what they're saying, people change, people pass away. What happens when that happens, right? Which brings us to the Spicecake mantra. And the Spicecake mantra is this little saying, this mantra that Spirit gave to me over time, where it basically says, I am my own spice cake. The frosting on top of the spice cake are those, relationships of like family and friends, those that we, feel love us. And on top of the spice cake, on top of the frosting, is a cherry. And the cherry on top of that is our accomplishments in life, those successes we feel we have. And then on top of the cherry is whipped topping, and the whipped topping on top of the cherry, on top of the frosting, on top of the spice cake represents our intimate relationships, those that go, very deep in our lives. And if we didn't have the whipped topping and we didn't have the cherry, and if for some reason all the people that loved us in the world were gone, because that would be the only, reason why they would choose to not be loving us, even if we don't have any of those things, you would still be an awesome frickin' spice cake. And so that mantra really helped me put things in perspective, that I am whole and complete in myself. Everything else, the love of friends and family, is extra. Accomplishments in life are extra. Deep, intimate relationships is extra. All those things aren't the crux, isn't the meat of our lives. They're all extra things. And this is this transformation that comes in with this. And with this being a -3, because minus in this deck, all the minuses are the emotions that are bring us into the fear zone. But 3s are about creativity. It's the Empress card. It is a number of creativity. So that also brings in this little kind of tint to all of this too, because when you are so busy trying to define yourself by the outside world, you're investing so much energy trying to maintain so many things in our lives that we don't have a whole lot of energy left over to allow our inner creativity to happen, because we're exhausted just trying to meet up to this validation that I was talking about. Now, whenever I do monthlies, well, up to this point, I would take a tarot deck and I split out the major arcana from the 4 suits of the minor arcana. And for the major arcana, this represents, like this card, the overall energy, the overall information that the creator wants you to know about, the month of February. So let me just give these a little more of a mix up here, and then we'll... All right. So for our Cancer signs, what else would you like them to know about their February? Okay, no, they do want those 2. Actually, they want 3. So let's make some room here. So you have the Justice card. So the Justice card is a beautiful, like a message of balance, of course. And normally you'll see like kind of this scale in there. And this is all about this beautiful understanding, this, one of the scales represents like your human side, and the other scale represents your spiritual higher self. And the Justice card comes in to show you the difference between the small t truths, which would be the small t truths of that, like in this case, that we have to find the other half of ourselves to be whole and complete, and then balancing and understanding the capital T truths, which are the truths that you are whole and complete on your own and everyone else is extra. This would be that kind of balancing, this understanding of the shifting, where you're realizing these small T truths are being outweighed by the capital T truths, because you are, coming to this beautiful place. This is card number 11, and so when you have 1 and 1 next to each other, you can also see, okay, there you are 2 individuals. You're not a half and a half equals 1. You're 1 plus 1 equals 2. So if someone's not there, you're still a whole number 1. And then you have card number 20. This one calls it Confucius, but in the major arcana, in like a regular tarot deck, this would be the World card, which is the endings like endings of major cycles and beginnings. You have two X's here, which is 2 10s, which equals 20, right? So it's double endings and double beginnings. So there's this, again, this duality that's happening here with an X and X next to one another. So this is a 1 and a 1. This is an X and an X. And this definitely is about this ending of these major cycles, these old ways of believing, and this transformation into new ways of believing as well. Yeah. And then the 3. So I talked about the Empress, and that's why she wanted to be seen here too. This is all about the creativity, where this is endings. She would be like new birth, mother nature, mother nurture. So definitely about nurturing yourself. She's usually pregnant and with child a lot of times, which means there's this birthing that's happening, this freeing feeling that is happening too. Because the Empress is like I said, Mother Nature, and nature is more unbridled than the Emperor and the Hierophant that come after her in the major arcana, because they're the ones that create the rules and the restrictions, where the Empress is more in nature and is feeling free and running free. So this is totally coming together here with all this here, because this definitely is about this balancing out of your truths and understanding how your relationships really can work, that they don't have to be this codependency and all this pressure and trying to validate yourself. And so this is the ending of major cycles and this new birth and this new beginning and this freedom that's coming for you. Then we go into the minor arcana, and the 4 suits of the minor arcana basically represent the 4 different aspects of your beingness here. And we're going to start off with, this is called staves or staves in this deck, but that would be wands in the standard tarot. And it normally represents like our drive, our ambition, our aha inspiration, our passion, and also our spiritual energy. And so this will represent what the creator wants you to know about your spiritual adventure during the month of February. So for our Cancer signs, what do you want them to know about their spiritual adventure, please? Nope, not all those. Okay. Okay, there we go. And you have the 4 of staves, or the 4 of wands. And think of 4s as like a solid table with 4 solid legs. So this represents stability of your energy. This, I kind of feel like this before, it's almost like this scary movie, right? With the vampire teeth. It's like this energy that's always fluctuating, because when you do define yourself by the external things, like for the Spicecake mantra, if you defined yourself by the frosting, the cherry, and the whipped topping, all those things are unstable because people change or pass away, situations never stay the same, and things break down, deteriorate, burn down, or are stolen. So if you're defining yourself by those external things, you definitely feel unstable, because all those things are unstable. But when you're finding and connecting to this worth from within, realizing you are an awesome freaking spice cake yourself, then you have this stable energy that comes in for you. So I really feel like this stability is coming in where you, whereas before you felt very, like in a storm, you reach calm waters with that spiritual energy that you have. We're also going to pull a card here, though, from the I Am Everything Oracle, and just see what else the creator wants you to know about your spiritual adventure during the month of February. But I definitely like the stability coming in, right? All right, so what else for our Cancer signs for their spiritual adventure for February, please? Okay, there we go. And you have I Am Safe. And that is number 4 as well. So again, this stable, secure feeling. And it says, I trust my intuition to lead me down the right path. Looking back on my trials, I see that I'm still here and thriving. I always end up better, stronger, and wiser. I have proven to myself that I will always make it. Time and time again, I am safe. And that is beautiful, because one of my favorite awarenesses or my sayings that I have is, you have survived 100% of every single one of your challenges in your life. And that's because you're here now. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here right now. So I would say congratulations, because you have come a long way and you've overcome every situation that you've been through. And with this 4 and this 4, that is this very solid foundation in your energy in the month of February. And it really is spawned by this solid foundation you have in that solid foundation of that Spicecake. So I'm really loving this message that's unfolding here for you. And then we're going to move into the coins suit, which is also pentacles in the standard. And that's the earth element, where this is the fire element, this is the earth element, and this will represent the physical world. So all those beings and all those props that are on stage with you in this beautiful adventure that we're portraying in this lifetime. So this will be what the Creator wants you to know about your physical adventure during the month of February. So for our Cancer signs, what do you want them to know about their... Okay. There we go. And then you have the 3 of coins. Again, 3 is creativity. And so I love that we're getting the messages of both the relationship and the creativity unfolding for you. And with this 3 of coins, the message that comes with that for me is about you being your authentic self. There's this one deck that I use that shows someone creating a beautiful piece of art, and there's someone standing in front of them and someone standing behind them. And the person behind them is kind of like a naysayer, one of those bubble bursters that you're not going to succeed at that. Why do you even try? Why are you doing it that way? Blah, 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 blah. And we already know about them, and that we can sense that negative energy, and it's very obvious to us. So we kind of build this little barrier and put them on the other side and go, okay, you can be over here. You're not supporting me, and I don't like feeling that way. So you're going to be over there. So that's very obvious, and we know about that person. But the person in front, the one that's supporting us, our ego loves, like we talked about, that validation, that praise from them, that support. And so they're saying, I'm so proud of you that you're doing this and that you made this brave step and going forward and you're creating stuff so beautiful and blah, blah, blah. But have you ever thought of doing it this way? And that person can be more capable of pulling us off of expressing and creating in our authentic way, because we're afraid to lose their praise and their support, and that they'll join that camp of the naysayers and the negativity. So this card is really zeroing in, kind of like with this Spicecake, of don't look for those other things outside of you for your validation and to, draw you. Don't allow them to draw you off from you authentically expressing that gift and that unconditional love within you with the world. Find your authentic self and stick with it. Find that foundation within you where you're not afraid if you lose praise or punishment. You're like, I don't care, I'm going to express it in my own creative way. And so I really like that. And that is different, of course, from, let's say you're living your passion and you're wanting like something, an answer to something. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. And then either one of those individuals comes to you and goes, hey, well, have you ever thought of doing it this way? If it's matching your passion and it is something that brings you answers, it's going to feel completely different. It's going to feel light and like an answer, like, yes, that's perfect. That resonates with me. Versus the other, if you're doing it out of fear, it's going to feel heavy and you're going to feel less of yourself, and you're not going to feel the passion and the energy around it because you've moved off course from what you really wanted to do. So that is to say, you will know the difference between if it's heavy or light, whether it is something that's helping you with your passion or something drawing you away from your passion. So be authentic. And then we're going to pull a card here from this Earth Magic Oracle. And we're just going to see what else the Creator wants you to know about your physical adventure during the month of February. All right, what else for our Cancer signs for February, please? Okay. feel like that's the one there. And you have river movement. Love that. Beautiful picture there. Sorry for the glare. There we go. And so let's see what message the river brings you. So the softened light from the sun falls upon this meandering river, the sparkles reflecting the gentle movement taking place in the river's body. She moves easily around the curves and the rocks, sometimes gently, as portrayed in this card, and sometimes quite rapidly and intensely. Still, the river's movement will always eventually land her in the bosom of the great grandmother ocean. Some of her water will evaporate along the way to feed the waters of the sky, just as it takes place in any other bodies of water, and bless the land and the seas with replenishment in a perfectly natural cycle that helps the planet sustain itself. Water is our lifeblood, a nutrient more essential than food. The flow of water throughout our own bodies serves as a metaphor for how life itself flows through us and expresses as us. So there's definitely this flow of energy helping the world by being your authentic self. It goes on to say, fighting or blocking the flow of your life force can lead you to feeling spiritually void and disconnected from the source, the creator. Just like the metaphor of the river, it does not work to force or fight this compelling movement. When you simply pay attention and observe the flow, it becomes easier to navigate your experiences and see what lies ahead, or at least get a sense of what is to come by the ever-changing geography that unfolds as you cruise along. Your resistance is hampering your ability to make a choice in this matter. Surrender to the movement of life. Be grateful, and you will see the signs along the shore and in the river itself that offer you clues about what direction your egoless self is to be making. Go with the flow is more than a trite aphorism here. It is essential that you do so now. Breathe, relax, and you will know. And I really feel like this message that's within this for you is allowing yourself to flow. If you're damming up that energy and you're not allowing it to express itself, it's becoming stagnant water. So it's definitely important for you with this authenticity to flow. Let your creativity flow in the direction that is authentically you, not dam it up and divert it, to meet what other people are wanting you to do. So beautiful. Then we're going to move on to the swords, which is the air element. This represents your mind. So this is your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, your expectations. And for this reading, it'll be what the Creator wants you to know about your mental adventure during the month of February. So for our Cancer signs, what do you want them to know? Okay, these two. And of course, you are a water sign, so you are all about the flow of the emotions too. So you got the 5 of Swords, and you have the 4 of Swords. So I love that these are coming together again, because with the stability of all this energy, you do have this end result of stable mind. You're putting to rest this conflict that you have within your own mind. The 5 of Swords, 5s represent like this transformation, this change of perception about things. And so when you look at the 5 of Swords, it is this movement of thought. It is this change of thought, because you have this conflictingness, with this Justice card, that balancing of the small t truce with the capital T truce, this battle that you've been having, and kind of it's like this, it feels like drawn that I have to do this, and that I have to alter my creativity and my authentic self, both in relationships and anything I create in the world. But so you're in conflict because you're getting pulled one way to your true passions of your true self, and the ego pulling you into out of fear into wanting to do the other things. A lot of times you'll see here too that there's people, like some of the swords are laying on the ground and people are walking away, which shows that you have been really good at battling, trying to prove your small t truths are more truer than other people's small t truths of the ego. And you might have won the battle, but you lost the war because you lost the relationships, because you proved to them that I was right and you were wrong in your mind. And they're just like, they're tired of battling all the time, feeling belittled and feeling like their beliefs and thoughts and all that don't matter. And so they're walking away. That also could be that you are the one that has that been done to you. So, it could be either side of the coin. But in this discovery of who you really are, you're discovering that those outside things don't matter as much when you're finding all this solidity, this solid foundation within you of that spice cake, right? When you're finding that you are whole and complete and enough without anything else or anyone else, then you care less and less and less about what people are doing on the outside, because you know that your foundation is what it's all about. All that other stuff is just extra. You can take it or leave it. So this peace of mind comes through that, where you have this solid foundation. And a lot of times the Four of Swords, you'll see someone actually sleeping on one of the swords and the other three swords are up on like the wall. And the big sword that they're laying on is the Ace of Swords, which is what brings you this beautiful ability to connect to the capital T truths. It also gives you the ability to cut away those thoughts and beliefs that no longer serve you. They served you for a time, because we definitely all come here to experience what it might feel like to feel incomplete, to feel less, to feel powerless. But when you're done and you're ready for this new journey, you're able to cut away those thoughts and beliefs because they aren't serving where you're headed in your next part of your journey. And we're also going to pull a card here from this numerology guidance cards. Just see what else the Creator wants you to know about your mental adventure for February. All right, so for our Cancer signs, what else do you want them to know? Okay, you have two cards there as well. So you have parenting, and that's card number 63. And you also have completion, card number 9. So yeah, definitely this ending and new beginning is kicking in here with this completion, because we're right above this card as well. And they want me to zero on this parenting, because it's what I'm getting from that is very much like the Six of Pentacles energy, which is what I call the codependent awareness card. Because parenting in this case isn't about you parenting like a child, but it's about this relationship. In fact, they don't even want me to read from the book. They want me to tell you about that, is that, when you come into these relationships where you feel you have to give and give and give in order to be worthy to receive anything. In fact, you may not even allow someone to give to you. That is what this codependent relationship is, because an enabler in a codependent relationship is someone who has this core belief from their childhood and reinforced throughout their life that I'm not worth anything unless I can give you something. Just simply being me isn't enough for you to want to be around me, so I have to give to you. In fact, I don't want to receive from you, because that means it scares me, because I need to be the one that's giving. So you might start off this relationship as an adult to an adult, but then where this parenting comes in is you quickly move into this parent-child relationship. And I call it like the daddy bird or the mama bird and the baby bird. It's like, no, I give to you, I only give to you. And if you try to give to me, I'm like, no, mama bird, daddy bird gives to the little baby bird. And so we don't allow them to give, and then we give and we give and we give until we're exhausted, and we give and give and more until we're resentful. And that's where we end up in that type of relationship. And then baby bird, well, it wants to give just like we do, because it's not really a baby bird, it's an adult bird. And it's like, well, if I can't give to you, then I'm going to give somewhere else. And if it's a romantic relationship, they might give to someone else, like an affair, or they might, if any type of relationship, they might invest themselves into their job and become a workaholic, because at least they're getting some sort of reward or satisfaction from their work and what they're giving. Or they might like spend a lot of time with their friends or a hobby or working out. They'll invest their energy somewhere else. And so what this lesson that comes in here is definitely what we're talking about here with this soul meat card, is you really determine that you alone are worthy of love just for being yourself. It's not about what you're able to give. And you basically become like this chalice, this, cup, that, which I call like the Ace of Cups, and you fill up with this beautiful love from within, this unconditional love from the other side, from the Creator, from the spirit realm, and you fill it from your soul, and you just fill up, and everyone else gets the overflow. So rather than being this cup that you're giving away your life force all the time, you're giving away this bitter, sour water. Instead, you fill up first, and everything that overflows is this beautiful, sweet tasting water instead. So this is this movement from feeling you need a parent in a relationship, and you get to have partners in relationships instead, whether that is romantic or family or friends or work or whatever it might be. It becomes this equalish type of relationship instead of this parent-child relationship. Which brings us into your element, which is the water element, which is cups. And this does represent our emotions. So this will be what the Creator wants you to know about your emotional adventure during the month of February. And this won't scare you at all, because this is where you live and breathe. It's where you've been focusing your life on, and you've dealt with all your emotions for so long. Nothing in here will scare you. Right, Cancer signs. What? Okay, that one's right there. Yeah, 10 of Cups. So 10 of Cups is like this overflowing abundance. It can be endings and new beginnings too. The ending of old emotions, moving into these much more joyous and fantastic emotions, this emotional feeling of wholeness and completeness. So this definitely shows that it's worth it for you to go through this, because you're going to feel love within yourself like you've never felt before. And then we're going to end with this Starseed Oracle card, and this can also be about your emotional adventure, but since it's the last card, we're also going to allow it to be a wild card, so it can represent whatever else the Creator wants you to know about your February journey as well. All right, so what's your final message for our, right there, for our Cancer signs? Any others? Nope, just the one. And you have earthed. So I love that. Grounded, right? Very solid foundation. Learning how to be human in the world, but not of it. So definitely connecting to your higher spiritual self. It helps you become very grounded in this lifetime here. And let's see, there it is. So it says the challenge for all souls having a human experience is to be in the world, but not of it. To realize they are souls having a human experience and be fully conscious of it. To have their soul fully embody their body. People's personalities tend to relate to either transcendence or immanence. Those who lean towards transcendence have a longing for the heavens and the metaphysical. They yearn for a personal experience with God and to be lost in the heavens. They're envious of the angels and are more comfortable praying and hanging out in the stars than on earth. those who tend toward immanence have attached themselves more to earth and their body. They spend more time thinking about things in this physical world rather than connecting with the heavens or their own mystical inner worlds. Being a fully embodied soul, having a human experience, means finding the balance between transcendence and immanence, being in the world but not of it. So what we're talking about with this Justice card. And it says most starseeds are drawn towards transcendence. They're more comfortable with the angels and the heavens. Life on earth can be more difficult for them. And if this is you, you're being reminded that you chose to be a soul in a body on earth, and you're being called to focus more of your energies in the physical world. To learn how to be human, a soul in a human body fully presents to what life on earth has to offer you. And the little starseed soul inquiry questions are, do you tend to long for the stars or to be more in the physical? How can you find greater balance between the two? This is a great message because this year, 2022, is about you times 2. I have a series that I started and that Spirit is bringing, and it is all about exactly what it's talking about, that you are a human having this experience, but this is just a character you're playing here. The actor behind the character is this powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love, and you can have this joining together of the two and walk more consciously of who you really are in this earthly plane. So you don't have to be so heavenly minded that you're no earthly good, but you also don't have to be so drawn out into the world of fear that you're just in chaos all the time. There's this beautiful balance that comes in, and I'll have the playlist linked here at the end of this video as well. That's your final message here. I'm going to leave the reading at this point. Don't have anything else to add. Do want to let you know, in addition to these readings, I also do weekly energy updates by each of the elements like fire signs, water signs, etc., new moon, full moon readings, and a variety of others throughout the month. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those and be notified when they become available, and if you are enjoying these and want to help share the love, if you give this video a like and then click the subscribe button and then the notification bell, all of that helps the YouTube algorithm share these videos with other people, and it'll also give you the ability to click that you want to be notified when new videos come out so you won't miss anything. I never have any expectations around any of that. It's only if you want to do that. So if you do want to do that, I greatly appreciate that, of course. All right, all my Cancer signs, just know as you're going throughout each and every second of every day, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing February, but I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. And until then, you take care.